Tomorrow's workout is Tabata of the following 7 movements that Shoot's going to demonstrate for us shortly. So how Tabata works is you're going to work for 20 seconds, rest for 10, for a total of 8 rounds, which is 4 minutes of each movement before moving on to the next. The first movement is the floor press.
All right, so for the floor press, you can use 2 dumbbells, or I'm gonna demonstrate with the unilateral, so I'm only gonna have 1 dumbbell. So as I work for 20 seconds, I'll take a 10-second rest and then I'll switch to the other side. For the floor press, you'll be laying or sitting on the ground. You want to secure the dumbbell weight or whatever you're using for the pressing motion. Tuck it nice and close to the rib cage. From here, you'll notice that the elbows are tucked in at approximately a 45-degree angle from my shoulder. From here, my wrist is stacked, so you can't quite see it, but I do not have a bend in the wrist. It's knuckles up. And from here for 20 seconds, I'm going to press straight up for the repetitions. After your 20 seconds, you rest for 10 seconds, then you'll switch sides and perform the floor press on the other side. Key points of emphasis is 1, make sure you control the weight down so you don't want to cause any undue pressure on the wrist. And then 2, make sure you are pushing straight up but not protracting the shoulder blades. So I'll keep my shoulder blades retracted and allow my triceps and my pectoral major to do most of the work.
The second movement is the Renegade Row.
All right, so using the same weight that you just did for the floor press, once again, this can be dumbbells, or I'm gonna demonstrate with a single dumbbell. The first thing you're gonna do is go into a high plank position. One hand is gonna be on the dumbbell, the other one's gonna be on the ground. From here, I'm gonna brace the core, squeeze the glutes. You'll notice that I have a slight separation of the feet back behind me. That's gonna give me a more lateral stabilization. From here, I'm going to row that dumbbell into the rib cage. Objective is to keep the core tight, not really looking for excessive rotation, so trying to keep in line with the floor. Once again, perform 20 seconds of that movement on one side, rest for 10 seconds, and then switch to the other side, alternating back and forth.
The third and the fourth movements are side plank on the left and side plank on the right.
All right, so you have 2 options for this one. You can either do a high plank or low plank. For a high plank on the side position, you'll just stack it over here. Once again, try to make sure your head's in neutral alignment. You want full stacking of the wrist to the elbow, to the shoulder, to the shoulder, to the elbow, to the wrist. If you want, you can even drop this down into the elbow positioning, reaching up. Make sure you have neutral alignment. If you look, my elbow should be stacked with my shoulder, across the shoulder, elbow to ceiling. 20 seconds on the right side or left side, recover for 10 seconds, and then switch to the other side.
The fifth movement is the Pike Toe Taps.
All right, so you're gonna go into that high plank position. You'll have a separation of the feet. Your objective is to pike the hips up and back while you take the opposite hand to the opposite foot. So what this looks like is in the high plank position, I'm going to pike my hips, touch my left toe with my right hand, bring it back into that neutral position, and then pike again. Alternating back and forth for that 20 seconds. While you rest, I'll probably rest in this position, and then you'll go right back into the Pike Toe Taps.
The sixth movement is the seated tricep extension.
All right, so choose your weight accordingly and smartly on this one. I'll demonstrate what I did with the floor press and the Renegade Row. Probably not recommended, but whatever you're gonna use for this one, you're gonna be in that seated position. This is going to use a lot of the erectile muscles in your back, as well as bracing of the core. From here, you're going to take that dumbbell straight up overhead, stabilize, reaching the dumbbell through the ceiling. You're going to fold that elbow or the dumbbell back, and then extend back overhead. Once again, choose your weight accordingly and safely.
And the last movement is the broomstick V-up.
All right, so I'm going to take my broomstick. For this movement right here, I'm going to take the brush off just because I don't know what it's used for. From here, I'm going to lay flat on the back. I'm going to elevate my feet 6 inches, take that broomstick up overhead, elevate my shoulder blades, and from here, I'm going to collapse, trying to touch my toes to the broomstick. This is going to mimic a toe to bar movement. Modifications for this will simply be the knee tuck. Once again, bringing that knees as high as possible and pulling the broomstick. Down.
You out of breath?
Just a little bit.
All right, so just to recap, you're gonna finish each movement before moving on to the next. Each movement will take 4 minutes for a total of 28 minutes, technically 27:50 for the workout. Have fun.